The episode opens up with a group of soldiers heading towards the vehicle of a dictator named Fasan. As they wait for Fasan to show up, an old man jumps across the mountains behind them. When the soldiers notice him, they quickly chase after him, only to see him enter a cave. Outside the cave, a Latin sign reading "Beware" is seen, but the soldiers think nothing of it and enter anyway. The sergeant tells his soldiers that they should bring anyone that they find inside out alive. This is when one of the soldiers named Chung notices a pile of skulls and alerts the sergeant, but he claims that Fasan is not to be blamed for them, and that they should leave since there is nothing inside for them to find. Before they can leave, a soldier named Burns notices a crystal shining in the middle of the cave and tells the sergeant that he is going to sell it off and send his kids to college with the money. Just as he is about to grab the crystal, the same old man that they had seen earlier appears out of nowhere and attacks them. He manages to take the entire squad down and grabs Chung, but before he can stab her to death, the sergeant hits him across the head and knocks him out. While everyone is still recovering, Brune sees this distraction as his chance to steal the crystal. When he grabs it, two snakes emerge from it and enter his body. Unaware of what has happened, Chung comes up to Burns and tells him that they need to leave the cave. However, Burns suddenly turns around and starts shooting at his squad. Everyone takes cover, but then Burns throws a grenade at the roof of the cave, causing it to collapse on top of everyone. Meanwhile, the Flash appears in a commercial for an energy bar, where he is seen chasing robbers and getting trapped by them. It is only when he eats an energy bar that he regains his strength and defeats the robbers. As a result of the commercial, the Justice League is heavily criticized, where people claim that they are only after money. When Green Lantern sees this, he asks the Flash why he needs the money so badly, since it reflects badly on the rest of the League as well. Flash then takes him outside and shows him the van that he had bought with the money. He presses a few buttons, but the van begins to act up until Green Lantern snatches the remote from him and fixes it. While he gives Green Lantern a tour of the bus, Flash turns on the TV where they hear Glorious Gordon Godfrey, a talk show host, talking about the Justice League, claiming that they think they are above everyone else. Noticing that Green Lantern is annoyed by this, he claims that he will fix everything and uses his super speed to arrive at the glorious talk show set. Although Godfrey is surprised to see him, he quickly takes charge and tells the audience watching that the Justice League does not wait for invitations and shows up wherever they want. He then turns to Flash and tells him that white-collar crime and divorce rates have gone up ever since the League took over. Flash tries to argue that they are not after money, but Godfrey somehow turns his around as well, claiming that the League thinks they are better than the average person. Before Flash can say anything, Godfrey ends the show and tells Flash that he should not feel too bad since it is showbiz, assuring him that it is not the end of the world. On the other side of the world, the old man whose name is revealed to be Mofir claims that it is the end of the world. Since he knows what has happened, Mofir decides to follow after Burns. At the same time, Burns continues to whistle as he gets a lift from another soldier out of the canyon. He then takes out his gun and asks the soldier how many shots his gun can fire. When the soldier tells him that it can fire 7 rounds, Burns claims that it is not enough. He threatens the soldier into telling him what their most dangerous weapon is. Fearing for his life, the soldier reveals that a nuke can kill hundreds and thousands of people at the same time. Meanwhile, Godfrey hosts another talk show where he reads a quote from a child psychologist claiming that children who look up to superheroes often end up creating fights and do poorly in school. He goes on to say that he would like answers from the Justice League, but they have refused to accept his invitation to appear on the talk show. Wonder Woman and Green Lantern watch the broadcast. She wants them to put a stop to his nonsense, but Green Lantern does not think that it is a good idea. On a military base, a general tells government officials about a new missile defense. He claims that their anti-fusion device will help them completely neutralize enemy missiles at the point of detonation. He then demonstrates the process by preparing to launch nukes, but before he can do that, he is alerted of a security breach at the facility. He orders his men to abort the test as Burns heads for the nukes. Soldiers at the facility quickly surround him and begin shooting at his vehicle, causing it to flip. Once Burns recovers, he finds himself surrounded by guns. Back in the studio, Flash rehearses his lines for another commercial, but has a hard time saying them out loud. He confronts the director and tells him that he is not going to follow the script. However, the director tells him that his sponsors have already paid for everything and are expecting him to go through with the commercial. This does not sit well with him, and he angrily tells the director that he is shit at his job. Flash's manager tries to get him to change his mind about doing the commercial, but he refuses to do it. When he leaves, his manager calls Godfrey and gives him the recording of the Flash getting into it with the director. During this, Burns is captured and taken to an interrogation room where he is questioned about his plans. Burns, who had regained his senses once the crystal was out of his hands, seems to have no idea what is going on. Unbeknownst to everyone, the general now possessed the crystal had become affected by its evil powers. He heads into the control room where he tries to detonate the nuke but gets interrupted by a soldier just in time. As soon as he leaves the room, he comes across Godfrey's talk show where he is playing the clip and claiming that the Justice League has been given too much power for far too long, and that they have the power to take down humanity. Seeing this, the general gets an idea and asks his men to locate the Justice League for him. Not far from them, Mofir finds his way into the base as well. Back in the city, Flash confronts his manager, who refuses to accept that he had sold the tape. Angry, Wonder Woman grabs him by the collar and is about to punch him when they hear an explosion in the distance. They discover that someone is wreaking havoc at the nuclear plant. While Flash and Green Lantern try to put out the fire, Wonder Woman heads inside to find the criminal, who is, in fact, the General in disguise. Once she catches him, she grabs the crystal from his hands, unaware that she has made herself the new target. Sometime later, Flash finds Wonder Woman holding the General's body, who then flings him away. He catches the General before she can hurt him and asks her if she is feeling okay. Wonder Woman assures him that she is, and leads him out of the plant. The incident at the nuclear plant gives Godfrey another chance to criticize the Justice League on his show. He claims that people across the city did not have power because of the destruction at the plant caused by the Justice League. He then demands that all of the governments around the world ban the Justice League. When Flash hears this, he immediately calls his agent and tells him to do something about it. But his agent assures him that there is no such thing as bad publicity before hanging up the phone. Meanwhile, the General is interrogated and asked what he did with the anti-fusion device. As expected, the General has no idea what is going on and does not know where the device is. He tries to tell Green Lantern that the anti-fusion device is defensive and is only able to stop nuclear fusion. Outside the interrogation room, Wonder Woman listens closely to everything the General is saying. Once again, Flash approaches her and tells her that his day has just gone from bad to worse because he has been dropped by both his agents and his sponsors. Annoyed, Wonder Woman asks him if he ever shuts up. Once the interrogation is done, Green Lantern briefs Flash about it, claiming that the General does not remember anything. Flash asks him if he believes him, but before Green Lantern can give him an answer, he notices that everyone in the streets is staring at them. Flash then tells him that Godfrey has managed to scare the civilians by painting the Justice League as dangerous and unreliable. All of a sudden, a hooded Mofir appears behind them and knocks the two of them down. He then rushes towards Wonder Woman, who immediately recognizes him as her captor. Mofir claims that the evil will not destroy this world at his watch and attacks her. The two of them begin to fight until Wonder Woman pushes him up against a wall. Mofir uses this chance to flash a red gem in her eyes, causing her to lose consciousness. Just when he is about to stab her with his sword, Green Lantern and Flash intervene and manage to stop him from killing Wonder Woman. Once Flash turns her around, he finds that she is holding a crystal, but does not question it. Green Lantern takes her to the Watchtower while Flash takes Mofir to the hospital where he is admitted into the psych ward. There, Mofir continues to say that the heart of darkness is death and that they will have their vengeance. The doctor tells Flash that Mofir has delusional paranoia and that he has been a sedative that does not seem to be working on him. As they are leaving, Flash overhears Mofir say, "Forever eclipsed," and asks him to repeat himself. Mofir tells Flash that the man's time is forever eclipsed. Flash asks him to explain what he means, and Mofir begins telling him the story of a time before civilization. He claims that the humans were waged in a war against the Ophidians, a race that was composed of snakes that walked like men. After years of fighting, the humans had finally managed to get rid of most Ophidians, but the ones who remained alive performed a ritual on the day of the eclipse and trapped themselves inside a crystal known as the Heart of Darkness. Anyone who touched the Dark Heart was possessed by vengeful spirits whose only goal was to destroy humanity. When Flash asks him how they can stop the evil spirits from destroying humanity, Mofir tells him that it can only be done in two ways. Either the pure light from Mofir's gem will drive the spirits back into the gem, or they will have to separate the host's head from its body. Flash then heads back to the Watchtower where he tells Gian about Mofir's story. Gian agrees that they should keep a close eye on Wonder Woman because she has been acting strange ever since she woke up. Flash offers to check up on her and rushes to the medical bay where Wonder Woman is recovering. When she notices him, he asks her if she is feeling better. Wonder Woman claims that she is, but insists that she cannot recall anything. Flash once again goes up to John and asks him if he can enter Wonder Woman's mind to see if the evil spirits are still controlling her. However, John tells him that they have another emergency at hand because someone has hacked into the Javelin Bay. Flash blames Wonder Woman for it, but Hawkgirl disagrees by explaining that she was locked up the entire time. At this point, Superman and Wonder Woman join the rest of the League. He tells them not to make assumptions before checking the Javelin Bay security tapes. John plays the tapes, but is surprised to see that he had been the one to mess with the equipment. He tries to tell the League that he has no memory of doing anything like that. Flash realizes that something fishy is going on and quickly grabs Mofir's gem. Green Lantern tells him that it is stupid, but Flash is determined to prove something sinister is happening. He flashes the gem in front of John, but nothing happens. He then moves the gem towards Wonder Woman and Superman, but nothing happens. Before he can turn it towards the other superheroes, Green Lantern blasts the gem, causing it to shatter. Hawkgirl is the first one to react and tries to take Green Lantern on, but he uses his powers to create a large snake that knocks her down. Superman rushes to her aid but meets the same fate. It is Wonder Woman who manages to finally grab him, while John knocks the crystal out of his hands. Flash warns the League about touching the crystal, but Hawkgirl smashes it, causing it to shatter. Flash narrowly avoids getting pricked by the shards, but notices that the others have not been lucky. He realizes that he is in danger because he is now up against the entire League. John transforms into a snake and starts wreaking havoc inside the Watchtower while Superman flies towards Flash, intending to kill him. Flash manages to take the elevator and uses his super speed to get away from him. As he crawls through the vents, he hears Wonder Woman talking to John and Green Lantern about using humanity's own weapons against them. Green Lantern then releases the nuke and shoots it towards the sun, causing a big explosion that everyone on Earth witnesses. As Mofir notices this as well, he claims that he has failed. Meanwhile, back on the Watchtower, Flash struggles to remain hidden as Superman relentlessly chases after him. He tries calling Batman for help, but is unable to reach him since John has destroyed all of their communication systems. He then heads towards the jet and hides inside. He also notices that everything inside has been destroyed, which is why he cannot escape using it. Before he can come up with a solid plan, the rest of the League finds him and starts trying to break their way inside. He backs away until John breaks through the door and grabs him. With no other choice left, Flash uses his super speed to drill his way towards the lower levels of the Watchtower. However, the League manages to find him and corner him. At this point, Flash notices a high voltage warning behind him and realizes that he could create the same blinding light that was generated by Mofir's gem. As the superheroes get closer to him, he pulls the lever down, causing a blinding light to hit the League. Because of this, the evil spirits leave their bodies and find their way back into the shards of the crystal. Once everyone recovers, Flash tells them about the situation at hand. As they watch Earth helplessly, John tells them that they can stop the nuke from destroying both planets by creating a wormhole that will suck away the anti-fusion matter. Green Lantern tells them that they can use their jet to create a wormhole since they have been using it for interstellar travel. At this point, Flash delivers more bad news and shows them the damaged jet. When Wonder Woman asks Superman how much time it will take to fix the jet, he claims that it will take too long, and they no longer have the luxury of time. Hawkgirl suggests that they don't need the entire jet, only the wormhole generator. John reminds them that without the jet's engines, they will not be able to generate enough power to mimic the speed of light. When Superman tells the League that even he can't fly that fast, Green Lantern suggests that they should give the generator to Flash, who can mimic the speed and reverse the effects of the nuke. Although he is hesitant, Flash agrees to go ahead with the plan, knowing that they have no choice. Green Lantern flies Flash as far as he can into space before creating a track for him to run on. He instructs Flash to activate the anti-fusion device on time to avoid destroying the sun. Knowing that humanity's future lies in his hands, Flash runs like he has never before. Once he reaches far enough, he throws the device into the black hole that had been created in the sun. This causes a blinding light to appear as a wormhole opens up. Just like John had predicted, the wormhole sucks up the anti-fusion matter and restores the sun to its previous glory. Back on Earth, everyone witnesses as the darkness covering the sun disappears and begins celebrating another victory by the Justice League. On the other hand, Green Lantern catches an unconscious Flash, who has used up all of his powers and returns to the Watchtower. Sometime later, Flash regains consciousness and asks his friends what has happened. It is Wonder Woman, who tells him that he has saved humanity. As expected, the Justice League is met with praise once they return to Earth. Godfrey, who is now filming in a small, empty room, reports that a rally in honor of the superheroes was held and tells his sponsors, who seem to have dropped him, that he was only critical of the League because he cared. At the end of the episode, Flash's agent calls him with good news and informs him that people want to sponsor him again. He claims that he has a deal for sports shoes for him to endorse, but when Flash sees Green Lantern's disapproving glare, he declines the offer but tells him that Mofir could use the help. Sure enough, now that the world is safe from the evil spirits, Mofir is given the chance to appear in a commercial. Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about our latest videos. See you next time.